All right. Welcome, family. How's everybody doing? How you doing, Pansy?
I'm all right. You?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right. We got a good episode, I think, right?
Uh, I
It's
guess.
I guess. Wow. Thanks for the vote of confidence. No, I'm actually this is a good episode to have, I think. It's an important one to have and I'm excited to talk about some of the stuff that we're doing and talking about why well, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. But I'm glad you're here with me. Thank you, Pansy. I'm glad we got some of our friends with us here tonight as well. Happy Friday. Hope you all had a good week. Hope you guys are planning something for the weekend. You got any plans for the
For
weekend?
the holiday weekend.
Yeah. Got any
Um,
plans?
just my grandson's birthday party.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Yeah.
Gotta take some time. Gotta decompress. Meanwhile, like tomorrow, I've got a whole bunch of crap to do. Like talking about decompressing, and tomorrow I've got a whole bunch of junk to do. But look,
You get to do a whole bunch of stuff
I
tomorrow?
get to do a whole bunch of stuff tomorrow.
How
Uh,
amazing.
I'm helping somebody else out, but it's it really is important to decompress a little bit and take a day. I know my friend James, who's with us tonight, talks about this, but I challenge everybody to pick one day a week to step away from the business, step away from and take a break from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've been
Because
telling you that.
I know, and it's
Like
yeah,
one day is okay, right? For just your
yeah.
whatever you want to do, like no work, no business, whatever. Your brain really does need to take a break sometimes.
Absolutely. One day is needed, says James. Absolutely. And I think if you
Sometimes
don't,
more.
but it's hard, man. You think that sounds easy? It's actually really bleeping hard to do that.
Yeah. You get pulled into stuff, especially if you don't know how to say no.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why you have to use discernment.
Discernment and if you are, and by the way, I'm going to add this, if you are getting pulled into stuff, if it is that difficult to take one day, it's probably your fault. I'm just going to say that. Not always, but it's probably your fault. And the reason I say that is because I know because I had to start setting boundaries. And if you don't do that with people, everybody's just going to kind of assume that they get unfettered access to you anytime they want, which is not okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
it is okay, then don't be wondering why you hit that brick wall later on. Um,
Yeah, that'll
so
happen for sure. I've
yeah.
done it before.
Yeah, I have too. I have too. I have.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. It like, we hear a lot about this like hustle culture and everybody like, you gotta be up at 3 a.m. You gotta hustle, hustle, hustle. And it's like, yeah, that's cool up until a point, up until it's not cool anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everybody talks about balance. It's really, I don't
I
know.
saw you roll your eyes when you when you
Yeah,
said that.
because I I don't know. I mean, I believe that you can schedule yourself to be balanced, more balanced, right?
Yeah.
Of course, that also takes discipline
Mm,
and it also takes, like you said, boundaries and putting those in place and sticking to them.
hmm.
And that's the hardest part because people are not going to be happy with you when you start putting those boundaries in
Yeah.
and they've had all
Yeah.
access and
Oh,
it's
look
like
who's super important now. Can't make time for their friend. That's like that's not what it's about, guy or girl.
I mean, yeah, I mean some people everybody takes it differently, right? And
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
it's it is what it is.
Yeah.
But if anybody understands building a business, having a business, the entrepreneur lifestyle, it doesn't stop. It
No.
really doesn't. Um, you know, and I'm fortunate enough though that I got to raise my kids, right?
Hmm.
First, before I decided to really delve into this.
Yeah.
So I do have my whole time. This is
This is your
me.
time.
This
This is
is
your
my
time.
time,
Did I ever
you
tell
know.
you my mom didn't start her business until she was 55.
Yeah.
And
So
she even says like it was one of the best decisions she made. It gave her something that was hers, and it was just like you're experiencing now. It's her time. So don't let anyone tell you it's too late. It's
no,
absolutely not
no,
too late
absolutely
ever,
not.
right? It's really just what you tell yourself. It's the narrative that you're telling yourself. So, but let's get into this a little bit because we want to talk about celebrating the wins, right? If I want to start it with a quick question, and I want you to think about it honestly. We talked about last week, like what do you want, your identity, and all that fun stuff. But when was the last time you actually stopped, like fully stopped, and celebrated something that you actually have accomplished? Like think about that
Not
for a
too
minute.
long ago. Not too
Okay,
long ago.
for you, not too long. That's good. That's
I mean,
good.
it wasn't a big or,
Yeah,
to do or anything. I just blasted my music and danced around the house. It's like,
good.
you got to do something to celebrate all the wins, even if they're small, right?
Yeah,
Like, um, for some people and for myself at one point in time, a win was just being able to get up and get yourself showered and
that's a really
dressed
good point.
and taking care of yourself,
Yeah,
right?
that's a really good point.
Um,
Yep.
and to me, that was a celebration,
Mm-hmm.
because before that, I was really bad and in bed,
Mm-hmm.
and you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So to be able to get yourself going for the day, that's a big win.
That's a
Not,
huge
it's not
win.
that easy for
It's
everybody.
actually the first win of your day,
Yeah,
right?
um, yeah, you wake up, you're grateful,
Mm-hmm.
for, okay, I woke up, today is a new day.
Yep.
I can do whatever I want, essentially,
Finding some
right? I
gratitude. Yeah,
mean,
imagine that. Imagine being able to do whatever you, being able to build whatever you want, being able to do whatever you want, right? That's definitely a win.
yeah. And, it's, I find that to be a win. I've thought it was a win for a long time,
Mhm.
being able to stay home with my kids, everything,
Yeah.
And now I get to have a career and, in a business that I'm building and,
hmm
um,
And it's like, you know, I don't even think I would have celebrated some of the wins that we've had collectively or that I've had without you reminding me. There's been multiple times where you've actually reminded me like, that's actually a win. That's actually an accomplishment, right? And it's not easy. Like sometimes we need someone from the outside or someone that's close to us or in our business with us to kind of remind us like, hey, have you actually like, have you actually taken a second to understand like that's actually a move in the right direction. That's actually a win, right? So I don't know, and I'm grateful for that too because you actually, I bet you when I asked that question, there's a lot of people, including myself, like I couldn't necessarily think of the last time that I actually stopped and celebrated something. I think a lot of us spend a lot of time thinking about what we haven't accomplished yet or what and that can be good, that can help drive us a little bit, but again I think without stopping and really appreciating what you've accomplished thus far, even the small stuff, it can work against you, it can work towards helping you hit that wall quicker, right?
yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, it doesn't seem like a whole lot is going on, right?
I wouldn't say
Sometimes, oh,
that.
Kathleen has her hand up. Hold on, Kathleen.
Yeah, we'll bring you
Um,
up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but there really is a lot going on, and it's what you consider wins, right?
Yeah,
Like I consider what this is our 61st, 62nd, I don't know,
that's a pretty good win, I'd say.
episode,
Yeah,
to me, that's a good win,
yeah,
right?
that's a good win for sure.
The fact that we haven't given up yet. How many times has it been so frustrating, even more
Yes,
recently,
yes,
probably even
yes,
more than
yes.
before? And, you know, we're like, man, that's the
Guys, it is not easy doing a
and then we're
show.
like, no, let's just take a couple days.
Yeah,
And then we
yeah,
came back.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
what's go
It
where can we change some stuff? Whatever, right? Like,
It's healthy though. You know what? Look, it's not easy doing a show and sharing the time with someone else. Like if you notice, most of the longest running shows are just one person, right? Or it's one person show and then they just bring guests on. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's not easy doing this with and sharing it with somebody else. Like sometimes we butt heads, right?
There's a lot to learn and grow. Like, so we're building a business, right? But
Yeah.
anybody who knows entrepreneurship, you're also building yourself, right?
Mhm.
In so many ways. And we're learning about each other, right? Like, how can we be better partners for each other
Mhm.
for the business
Yes.
and everything? And yeah, sometimes you're going to butt heads and
Yeah.
whatever. It's what you do during those times, right? Like,
Yeah, it's how you
not
solve that. It's how you solve
right.
that problem.
Like, we didn't, when we were really frustrated, we didn't sit there and call each other names and,
Mm-mm.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
We're like, let's take some time, think about things. Where can we come back and,
Yeah.
readjust, whatever. And I think that's a win too. All of
Mhm.
these things that are turmoil and all of that, it's a win because it's getting closer
Yeah.
to what we've been building, you know?
It is. It is 100%. And so, we talk about this. So, when's the last time you actually stopped and celebrated something? And I'm not talking, and I don't think you're referring to this either. Not like it doesn't have to be massive life-changing wins. Like, obviously, celebrate those too. But we're not talking about the thing you've been chasing for years necessarily. We're just talking about something good that's happened to you, something that moved the needle forward. You know what I mean? Something that proved to you that you're making some progress, right? So when was the last time you let yourself actually feel good about it? Because that's kind of the main for me, that's a really important part of it. When's the last time you let yourself actually feel good about something that you've done instead of the other, looking at it the other way, right?
Yeah.
So if you're struggling like and again, if you're struggling to answer that, or if someone, when I ask that question, if you can't necessarily remember the last time you actually stopped to celebrate something like that, let yourself feel good about something. You're definitely not alone, but it's time to put a check on that because most of us are just wired to keep moving and kind of ignore it and just like you kind of hit a goal, right? And check the box and then you just kind of immediately move on, kind of a
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah. Well, in life, that's what we do. Like,
Yeah.
the saying, stop and smell the roses.
Yeah.
We don't really
We don't do it.
stop and smell the roses,
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
all hustling, bustling, and we say, oh, that's a beautiful rose, and go right past it,
Yeah. 100%.
instead of stopping for a minute and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, anybody who has seen any of my photos, I take a lot of nature photography, but I'm not just, oh, there's a pretty thing and then I'm on my way. Usually I'm like actually taking it in, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and really like, oh, wow, this is really beautiful. And I'm enjoying this. Let me
Mhm.
share, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and Kathy had her hand up a little bit ago.
Yeah, and Kathy, if you still want to come up, absolutely come up. If
I think
you,
she maybe had a win to share or something.
yeah, if you do, well, you got to turn your camera on though, if you're gonna come up.
Well, she could be a voice in the background if she,
Okay,
like I do.
I just wanted to tell you something. I just got the wrong button. It took a couple of seconds. Anyways,
Mhm.
I'm going to say it because it's merited. You know, there was a day that, that I came into this Zoom room, and I put a smile on my face, and I was trying to be as positive as I can. And Justin, he looked at me and said, "Don't quit." Went, what?
Mhm.
Do you
Mhm.
remember that, Justin? You said don't quit. And I
I
didn't even say anything to you.
yeah,
I didn't say one word.
yeah.
And it was seriously, and whoever can say what they want to, but to me, it was an answer to my prayer because I had been struggling and it felt so good. And it was so confirming
Yeah.
to me that I just appreciated it more than words can say. And I don't tell who it is, but I tell people about it because
No,
there's
that's
other
good.
people who struggle too. And
Yeah.
so one of the other things I feel that I was inspired one time because I've had my own I have a numerous amount of health problems too. But anyway,
Mhm.
um, one of the things that came to my mind because I got so frustrated, people say, "Oh, you know what? you know, you're just lazy. You need to get up off your bed, off your butt and stuff." And I do have some health problems that I just can't avoid, and this you could call it a thought, but I just felt really inspired. Kathleen, don't worry about what you can't do. I mean, about what you can, just worry about what you can.
There
And
you go.
that was just the whole thing. And I think, we want to, I don't mean it any disrespect for what the next thing I'm going to say, but some of us want to be like Pace Morby and just go, go, go like a Energizer bunny. And some
Mhm.
of us just can't. We,
Yeah.
we have things in our
Nor
lives
should
that,
you, by the way. Nor should you.
yeah.
Uh,
And I,
eh,
and I agree because like some of, sometimes, and I have used this in the past, but like when I've driven a semi truck, I
mhm,
need to stay awake. So
mhm,
I had drank an energy drink, but they're
mhm.
not good for you in
Mm.
the long run. And
No,
so,
that stuff catches up with you too,
Yeah.
yeah,
for sure.
quick,
Yeah, it
quick. So
does.
I just wanted to share that because that really meant the world to me to keep going. And I've gotten a couple wins in the last day or so. My mentors for what I'm doing, I'm just sharing.
Good for
Yeah,
And
you.
that
God,
is
share, girl. We want to
Absolutely,
hear those
yes.
wins.
the
Absolutely.
mentors that I for the developmentally disabled farm that I'm working on.
Hmm.
I talked to them yesterday. They were such a big like, you go girl, you are a go getter kind of a
Mm,
thing. And
nice.
the other part was really cool after I hung up with them. And you guys are gonna go, nuh but it's really true. The governor of Texas's office called me on the phone yesterday. I am not kidding you.
I don't,
One
I believe you.
bit.
Wow.
And is there I had an experience a couple of years ago. Governor Abbott came to Texarkana and I went and I met him. It was a brief elevator speech thing, but I shaking his hand. I got the picture too. If you want, I'll send it to you later. But Governor Abbott, I was saying, hey, do you know that there's insufficient services for those that have developmental disabilities in Texarkana? And you have to remember, Governor Abbott's in a wheelchair. And as he's shaking my hand, he pulls me down towards him and says, no, tell me about it. And I was like, holy,
Nice.
I was like, that is the coolest
Nice.
thing. And then so for him, and then how I got a phone call yesterday is, you get all these political texts or
Yeah.
whatever, and a lot of them and so I've just been a little bit miffed with some of the laws in Texas. And
Yeah.
because it's just, it's just
I could spend the
crazy.
next hour and a half, 2 hours talking about that. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
totally get it. Yeah.
So
Hopefully we could
I
change some stuff, right?
Yeah. So I just text back. I didn't think anything would come of it. I just text back, I'm really tired of the services for the development and disabled here. Because there just isn't really any. And so he texts back. He says, "I'll have someone call you." And so they called me
That's awesome.
yesterday. And that was so cool because I could say, "This is what we need." And
Yeah.
she said, that's really good that you're telling me now because right now we're getting prepared for the arguments to go to make bills. And
Yeah.
that was just my husband looked at me and he said, because he heard the whole thing
Yeah.
because he was home from work. And he says, Kathleen, if that didn't come from God, I don't know what did. And I didn't even think about it. I was just like, I was just so excited for yesterday because it was such a big win in my book.
That's
It
an
may not,
amazing win. That's an amazing win. And by the way, that this is like the perfect time too because it's primaries, right? We're
yeah,
getting to primaries and these guys are all out and they're looking for wins, right? So
yeah.
and if they're, that opens up the door for someone like yourself to inform them and get something going. That's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
So,
So I just wanted to share those things with you. I didn't mean to pick up all this time, but at
oh
the
no,
same
no,
time,
No,
you're
you're
good. You're good.
perfectly fine.
Yeah,
Thank you
you're
for
good. We appreciate
sharing.
we appreciate the input. Like, look, again, that's kind of a big win, I would say. You don't
huge.
always get to meet these kind of people, right? And get in their ear like that. So that's a pretty
Yep.
big win. And, you know, regardless, big wins, little wins, like let's take some time to recognize it and let yourself actually feel a little bit good about it for a minute. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean rest on your laurels. That doesn't mean
Oh
like, oh,
no.
I've accomplished what I, it's like, but you're letting yourself kind of take that W and feel it instead of just like we always do, just check the box and move on to the next problem. Um, and that's because that's been my modus operandi forever. Just like, okay, I don't even, first of all, I don't even consider it a win. I just kind of like whatever, whatever, whatever. Next, 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 next. And until I hit my like top of the mountain, I don't consider it a win, right? It's like that's the wrong way to look at it. Um, you've got it. You got because that's what helps you keep the momentum going. Otherwise, like we were talking about, you eventually hit the wall. So,
Yeah.
but that's amazing. And for us, like so I'll share something. I'll share a win. So my partner Mark and I have an opportunity right now that I've already filled out the application for the funding. We're waiting for approval, but it looks like it's going to go through. I'm going to cross my fingers and just knock on wood, but it's a pretty big deal if it goes through. And so we've got that going. And look, it hasn't even gone through yet, but I'm gonna celebrate the W in that
Yeah, you got that
we've
far.
gone through all of the work and the process to get all of the paperwork, everything together, get the loan application signed, get the purchase agreement signed, everything ready. It's been a lot of look, Mark's been working on it a lot. It's been a lot more work for Mark on that side of it, but you know, even if the worst case happens, like it's been a win because we've gotten through and learned a ton of stuff from doing this, right? That's the benefit, if everything just falls on its face, which we all know in real estate and investing, you never know what's going to happen. Like there's a million and 10 reasons why something might go through or might not go through. So, I'm going to take that win for Pansy and I. We actually have a property right now that we're working on and that we actually got some feedback from some important folks that we need to communicate with to get that property moving. So we'll see what happens with that. But and and you can talk too, Pan. Like obviously you've got something to add to this too, but I'll save the last thing. I'll save the last W for a little bit. But what do you have to add to that, Pansy? Do you have anything to add to that?
Um, I was going to include the fact that Christian paid us on a deal that we didn't even know he
Yes,
did.
he did.
That's a
Yes, he did.
win,
Yeah, yeah. No, and look,
you know.
we didn't
I
ask for that, but that was
Yeah,
definitely a W for
we didn't even know. So appreciate you, Christian. That's a win.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I am 10% owner on these properties in Chicago.
Mhm.
That's, I guess, a win.
No, that's definitely a win. That's not, I guess it's a win. That's definitely. Do you know how
Well,
many
it's
people wish they were 10% owner of anything?
not these buildings.
Well, look, it
It's
is
been
what
a
you make it.
challenge. It's been a
Yeah,
challenge.
yeah.
I feel blessed that I was pulled into this like um with Jennifer, I'm boots on the ground here. She's not here. And she asked me, to come on and help. And, it's turning out to be quite the project.
Hmm.
So, they offered me 10% and, fees or a salary once we actually get the buildings going,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know.
Yep.
So, it's a win. Like
And not just that, you've actually moved the conversation forward with the
for the
resource
business,
business,
yes.
yeah, and that's a win. Look, one foot in front of the other, one step in front of the other, right?
Yeah.
So,
It should be coming along soon.
yeah.
I think the one of the biggest hurdles right in the beginning for that will be the funding to get it started. You know,
Look,
um,
most people can't even get past the first part, let alone forget about raising capital.
Yeah,
Forget
and
about
it's not
raising
even going to
capital.
be that much to get started, but there's
Yeah.
still going to be some upfront costs for
Hmm.
building out the system and stuff like that. Um, so, but it will be hopefully up and running soon and helping others connect faster, right? And
Yeah.
find the resources they need. And hopefully we could build it efficient where,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I want to get to know people, but I also want to be able to make it easier where they don't have to necessarily wait for me to be the one to connect them, right? If I already have the resources,
Yeah.
I can,
Yeah.
work. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, those are just some of the wins. Yeah.
Well, and I'm grateful. Look, it doesn't have to be you celebrate with other people. I want to make that clear. Like, you don't have to get on a podcast and talk about your wins to be celebrating your wins. This is something that you can do by yourself. You need to like literally take a step back and be like, holy crap, that was actually a W, right? And we talk about it a lot about stacking W's. So you're getting up when you say you're going to get up, when you tell yourself you're going to get up, do the thing when you say you're going to do the thing. Um, you know, uh because otherwise you're training your brain, and this is the kind of the most important part about this is like when you do the opposite, you're actually training your brain to believe that nothing you do is enough. And you're also training your brain to not trust you, to not believe that what you say is actually what is going to happen. And that's a problem when you have that internal tug of war happening, because now you're expending energy second guessing yourself when you're trying, like what we talked about last week. Like, there should be no decision with certain things. Like, who you are and where you're going, there should be no decision. And if you're celebrating those wins and stacking those wins on a regular basis, you begin to trust yourself and become, again, it's a part of the process of becoming that person that you need to be to get where you're trying to get to. So that's why we're pushing back on this, and that's why we're making it, again, about celebrating even the small stuff. So um
Yeah. Does anybody else have anything to share? I'd
and,
like to
and
give uh
well,
others.
even Jay-Z brought up something, right? He said, speaking of which, he's got to go spend some movie time with
Oh, that was James Ziegler, yes.
yeah, or James Eager, yeah, was talking about going and spending movie time. It's like, if you have, imagine how blessed you are to be able to take a few hours and go watch movies with the family. Like, that's a win. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a lot of things to be grateful for. That's ultimately what it is, right?
Yeah,
Is being grateful for the journey, the things that happen, right? Because they all
yeah.
teach us something. It's difficult sometimes to be grateful for the things that don't seem so pleasant,
Hmm.
you know, but if you take those away, then you probably take a lot of other stuff away. So
Yeah,
you kind of have to take both, right?
yeah. Well, and
Um,
like, this is my thing. I was like, why are entrepreneurs, like, why are we the worst at this? Why are most of us the worst? I shouldn't say everyone, but like, why are entrepreneurs in general the worst at celebrating wins, right?
because if it's not a big win,
Right.
right? Like
Right.
I
You feel
bought a
like you feel
business
like
or blah, 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 whatever. No, I mean, yeah, like not everybody's like that. I think that some people celebrate the small wins and, like, I don't know, it's what they feel, right?
hmm.
But I just think in general, we don't look at enough things, small or big, and consider them something to be celebrated,
Yeah, I think you're right. I
in
think,
our
and
life.
then that comes from probably from hustle culture, right? Teaching you to always want more, and celebrating a win kind of feels like you're slowing down in some weird way. Like,
But we should be slowing down somewhat, right? Like my life was crazy hectic
yeah,
forever. All I wanted to do was kind of slow down a little bit, like, be able to kind of relax and mosey on out the bed and into my coffee or something in the morning,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Um, we,
Yeah.
I think a lot of us would like that. Like I told you, I want to be waking up and being able to walk outside and see or hear or whatever, some type of water,
Hmm.
sip my tea and just take in nature. And I don't really care where it is as long as it's me and
Hmm.
that deck or whatever.
Yeah.
And some people that I like, right? You know?
Yeah. I
So,
mean, to each his own, right? I would say my response to that would be it all depends on what you're doing and how quickly you want to get there, right?
yeah.
How important is it for you to get there, right? But even still, regardless, like entrepreneurs, we're typically pretty outcome or goal oriented, and it's like you hit that first goal or you hit that goal and it's like, okay, on to the next one, right? No time to smell the roses, like Pansy was saying. It's like it's on to the next one. There's always like it's almost like there's this guilt feeling around, like about feeling good about where you're at even when you haven't hit the big goal yet. It's something like that. And also this is a big one. The comparison trap. I'm super guilty of this. The comparison trap where you're going on social media and looking at other folks and where they're at and you're comparing yourself to those people. Social media makes everyone else's wins always look bigger than yours, right?
Yeah.
Even though you look at someone like I don't even care who it is. I'm not going to keep calling out pace, but like you look at someone who's just taken down a massive investment and they're showing it off on social media and you're like, damn, but you don't see all the freaking garbage and
That they had to
work
go through,
and
right?
that they had to go through to get to that point, right? You just see the win, you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that must be easy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But there's a whole team behind all that and so many other things, right?
Yeah. Well,
And Jamil just put out a video about, using caution and stuff like that with people.
hmm
Um, you know, I could be upset, like that I hadn't done a deal or something all this time.
hmm
But I didn't look at it that way because I wasn't necessarily looking for a deal. Like I was genuinely looking for people similar to myself that really wanted to use their energy to be there for others, right?
mm
And I wanted to get my family's financial situation, under control.
hmm
Uh, Granted, it kind of went opposite, but a lot of things
Hey,
happen there,
it's you know what?
but, you know,
Yeah,
um,
but you know
I
what
wouldn't
though?
trade
Like,
it because I think I've ultimately, in the long run, made the right decision to get to know people first and to continue to be particular
mm
about the people I choose,
hmm
and because I've seen a lot, I've heard a lot of things that, people jumped right into things just trying to get a deal, just trying to get a deal.
Oh God, I watched I've
And
watched
they
so
got
many
into a,
people.
where are we at now? We're looking at a deal that somebody got, they're essentially getting, screwed out of,
They
right?
they were looking at a deal that someone should have never lent on. And now granted, because they're in that situation, it opens up an opportunity for us, but still, right? I've watched
The
that.
only reason we're considering it though is to help them because we feel that we could get a renter in there that could cover the cost. But I don't think we would have taken on that if we weren't trying to help somebody.
Yeah,
Like
right.
if it wasn't a situation trying to help fellow investors out because we understand, what we all go through, right?
hmm Yeah,
So,
it's a lot of work. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's a lot of work, but it's also very rewarding. And the even when you don't win, even when you don't win the property, win the investment, whatever it is, the the benefit you get from it is you're paying that ignorance tax, right? But you're learning as you're going, and you're building up that experience. Because by the way, and I was talking to, I forget who I was talking to about this, but it's like, everybody, you talk to real estate investors, and a lot of them will tell you, oh man, I wish I would have started in multifamily. It's like, yeah, but they're saying that after they spent years in single family, gaining that experience in single family and wholesaling or whatever. And then of course they say, "Oh, I wish I would have just started in multifamily." I see a lot of people who go and try and start in multifamily, and really they're freaking too damn smart for their own good. They get in over their heads. And by the way, nobody is going to, if you have no experience, no money, all these things, nobody is going to trust you with a single family home, let alone a freaking multifamily property that's millions of dollars.
Yeah, you
You have to do
generally
it with a
need
team.
some, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
some
gotta you gotta start
experience.
at the bottom of the stack, just like everybody else. You gotta get in with a team that's got experience, that's got and you know, and relationships, capital partners, and all of that. You don't get to just now. Can you go get an FHA loan, buy a duplex, and start there? Sure, you can, right? But
There's many ways,
there's
but
many
yeah.
ways, right?
I
Can
mean,
you
I
get
don't
lucky?
see a
Sure.
problem with starting with multifamily, but like I don't think that the average new person who doesn't really know about investing even understands that you can do that,
Yeah.
right? It's all going to be difficult,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's just a matter of choose your difficult. What do you like?
Yeah.
Life is difficult regardless, right?
Yeah.
So choose something that you could at least enjoy somewhat and do
Yeah.
that, right? No matter, and because if it's difficult and you enjoy really learning and growing up and understanding it, it won't feel like work, right?
Yeah.
Like half
Yeah.
the time, it doesn't feel like work doing this at all. It's just my life, right? This is what I do. I talk to people. I try, I do my best to get deals across, whatever way, right? To get the business going. I
Mhm.
don't like to say mine, ours, right?
Mhm.
Our business
No,
going,
it's
right?
yeah,
But
you do.
it's been my vision, right?
Yeah.
So,
You've been
but
you've been working your butt off. And by the way, it look, it's gonna feel occasionally it's gonna feel like work. Like there's no way to avoid that. It's not just gonna always feel like, but if you enjoy what you're doing, if it's at like we've heard this before, if you enjoy what you're doing, you never work a day in your life or whatever it is. Which is there's truth to that, right? But then there's the minutia, the boring stuff that has to get done. And when you're, especially in the beginning, and you're not making a ton of money, you're gonna wear that hat. You're gonna have to do it. And if you don't do it, you're setting yourself up for failure. Or you're setting yourself up for a real hard time later, right? If you don't. So, and one of those things I'm going to talk about, which is accounting, bookkeeping, all of that. Like no entrepreneur, I think most entrepreneurs know enough to understand income and expenses, but they may not be they may not be experts at accounting. So one of the other wins that I have, I actually just got off the phone with this person earlier today. We're partnering. Pansy and I are partnering, and I haven't even really told Pansy about this yet, but we are partnering with a new company called Rocket Books. And after my experience using the application, I don't like talking, and this is something Pansy and I've discussed before, but I don't like promoting stuff unless we've used it and it's something that actually works. So I was about, I don't even know. I think I was about probably like 3 or 4 months. No, it was longer than that. I was about 5 months behind on my accounting. And if I was going to do QuickBooks like I normally do, it was going to take me probably, I don't know, 4 to 5 hours to get all of it caught up, right? Maybe not quite that long, but it was going to take me a few hours. It's so, and actually probably longer than that because I had some credit card stuff I had to catch up on, and there was you know, some complex transactions happening that I was going to have to vet and spend time looking at. Regardless, this application uses AI, allowed me to get all of my books, all of my bank accounts connected, credit cards connected, get all of my transactions imported, all of my categories defined, all of my invoices mapped and everything within, I don't even know, I think it took me like 20 minutes to get it all set up. And now I have my income statement, balance sheet, chart of accounts, general ledger, all that stuff's ready to go. Took me about 20 minutes to do it. And that's
Nice.
where we're headed. So that's a win for me. That
Yeah.
win right there, like without having to spend the next, weekend, full on day of my weekend doing accounting.
You were actually messing with your books for a while, though, doing
Yeah,
it a
so
different
I
way.
was messing. That was just getting things cleaned up. I hadn't even gotten to the part where I needed where, I was getting my credit cards and all that stuff, all those transactions logged, right? Because unfortunately, I didn't start with QuickBooks Online. I started with QuickBooks Desktop, and the version of QuickBooks Desktop that I have is, I think it's like 2020 version or something. So it doesn't even let me connect to my bank accounts anymore. So I'm like having to manually do this crap, and I'm asking myself the whole time, like, God, send me something that's gonna help me get this done. And look, we have resources like, there's if you're in the sub two community, we got Tony Counts, and she'll do your books for you and all that. But I found something almost better than that. And now it saved me
Did
a
you
ton of
find it
time.
though?
Huh?
Did you find it though? Is
Yeah,
it not?
that's
Is it not
well,
Jamie?
Jamie brought it. Yeah, absolutely.
She
Jamie brought
brought
it.
it
Like
to
I didn't
me.
go,
Yeah.
yeah, so let me specify, like I didn't go out looking for it. It found me, and thank God it did.
Yeah, she
Because
found us.
yeah.
So
So we're in partnership with them, and we're working on an affiliate links to get everybody else the same kind of experience and discount, potentially, to get into this application, because it's done a phenomenal job. When they're ready for me to show it off, I'm gonna do a part of an episode showing you guys how it works. It's pretty freaking cool, and literally, it's to the point. I literally just canceled my QuickBooks Online subscription because of it.
nice.
So, uh, and that's a win. So the win is saving time on accounting, and the win is partnering with them on a new, pretty freaking cool application, that handles my bookkeeping for me. Now, does that mean as things scale, as things get better and progress, that I'm not going to need maybe someone to look at those books and verify those books? Of course, as your business gets bigger, you can't just trust it to AI. You're going to have somebody review those books. But what's cool about Rocketbooks is that they're going to have someone in-house to do that for you, right? So it's really pretty cool. Anyway, that's my
Awesome.
that's my my half marketing ploy and a win for that product. But you can even go, I think you can actually go check them out. So let me just double check really quick. You can go look them up online. I'm pretty sure at this point. Uh,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know she was talking about getting us links and stuff for a while, but they were still working on things.
Oh, it's rocketbooks.ai, just so you don't get confused. There's a number of different Rocket Books or
I
Rocket
was
this or
gonna
Rocket that.
say that
It's
sounds familiar. Like,
it's rocketbooks.ai, so make sure you're looking for that. And they do have a page here. So um they have a page up, and you can see what the cost is. But I promise you, the amount it's going to save you in just in time alone, uh is is pretty phenomenal. So it did a
yeah,
really good job. And again, like I didn't even know half of the stuff. I didn't even know, like, the categories I needed to have and all that, but AI walked me through it. Literally helped me through all of it. So anyway,
nice,
yeah, go
nice.
check it out. Rocketbooks AI. Anyway, moving on, I wanted to ask, oh, one last point. The dangerous belief that I'll celebrate when I finally make it, that mentality, right? Like, the finish line kind of keeps moving, though. So you're like, I'm going to celebrate when I finally make it, but your finish line, you kind of never really reach your finish line because your massive goal kind of keeps pushing the goalpost back. That's a dangerous place to be too, right? And that's why, we get into this, and it's so important to stop and smell the roses. I
Kathleen
think
has a question about your buy box and the email.
who
Oh,
does?
we'll do that afterwards.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We can talk about that for sure. But anyway, that's it. I wanted to share that with everybody, Pansy, and I wanted to share that with everybody. We're kind of towards the end here. I wasn't really even sure how long this episode was going to go, to be honest.
Yeah, me either, because my morning was rough.
Yeah. So I think we'll call it, but I really, again, we'll be back next Friday. We got guests coming up. We've got some pretty cool people that are going to be joining us as guests in the very near future, including our friends over at Rocket Books AI to talk about their
Yeah, I'm
platform. But
excited. I haven't
yeah,
seen Jamie since what? How long ago?
yeah,
It's been a while.
yeah. It's
So
it's it's pretty freaking cool. So and they're if they keep going the way they're going, like with the way the platform is right now, it's only going to get better. They're going to blow up. Like no
that's
doubt they're going to
awesome.
blow
That's
up.
awesome. I'm
Yeah.
glad that we have this opportunity,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It all comes from just not quitting
From
and
building
staying consistent and
relationships,
building
right?
relationships.
That's
Yes.
why I said, I wasn't upset about not getting a deal for so long because that's not what I was doing in the first place. I wanted to learn, I wanted to grow, I wanted to learn the people and get to
Hmm.
know the people,
Hmm.
so that we could work better together. Um, and it's all coming together slowly but surely. It takes a while, but it's all coming together.
It is slowly but surely. Look, and that's the way it goes. Like sometimes do people get lucky and hit the lottery sometimes? Sure. But I would argue that most people that hit it big really quickly, really fast, that haven't really earned it, let's say, one, don't understand what they have, don't appreciate what they have, and maybe don't fully understand what they have at the same time. So there's a trade-off for each. It's like, yeah, you got the big win really early, um, but you didn't pay the piper yet.
Yeah.
So,
We all have our own journey,
yep,
right?
everybody's got their own journey. So, and again, but don't compare yourself to people like that. Don't compare yourself to anyone. The only person you compare yourself to is you yesterday, right? So, I'll leave it with that.
Absolutely.
Yep, I'll leave it at that. Thank you all. We appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Dick, Dick texted me. He's like, "Hey, where can I find your link to the Zoom?" I'm like, "Holy crap, man!" So I gotta send Dick a link to the Zoom. But
Well,
Dick
yeah.
Nichols
I mean,
hit me
I
up.
dropped it several times, so I don't know why people have an issue. It's always on the event,
Yeah,
and it's always, like, eh,
yeah.
Dick's a silly guy.
That's all good. It's all good. You know what? It's all good. We
So,
appreciate Dick too, but we appreciate all of our friends, all of our subscribers, people who believed in us from the beginning. We appreciate all you guys, and we're only going to keep going. We're not giving up. So,
yep,
just know that.
appreciate you all. Have a good holiday weekend.
Yes, everybody be
Celebrate
safe.
safely, please.
Yep. Yep. And
I will
so
not be a designated driver this year. I have kind of retired from driving people
yeah.
that are paying me unless it's personal friends.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
I'm, I'm
I was always made the designated driver because quite frankly I didn't like drinking.
yeah, I mean, I don't
Um,
mind being, I'm just simply stating I used to drive, you know,
mhm,
for one of these companies,
mhm.
and I've kind of retired that for now,
Good for you.
you
Good for
know.
you.
Yeah,
Good for you.
they just got on my nerves too much and it wasn't worth it.
I don't even know. Yeah, we can talk about this later. I don't know how you lasted that long dealing with some of that, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. Anyway, thank you all. We're gonna end it. Appreciate all you guys,
Stick
and we
around,
will
the
see
people
you.
in the Zoom.
Yeah, if you're in the Zoom with us, we do an after show kind of hangout. So if you're
Mhm.
interested, hang out. But we will see you guys next Friday. Thanks all.
Thank you.
Peace.